Hey, what is up guys? Kenneth here with the Lego Republic, and today we're going to be comparing these two amazing King's Castles, the one on the right being set 7946 and the one on the left being set 70404. So this should be a really fun video. I hope you guys do enjoy. Let's get right into talking about the minifigure. I do always forget though to mention some very important things, so make sure to subscribe and like the video. That's not very important compared to the thanks I want to give to my cousins Grant and Russell for allowing me to use set 7964, or is it 46? It's 46, 7946 here on the channel. They just let me use it, so thank you very much. It was pretty tough getting over here, but it did get over here and we're very happy to have it, so we will be giving it back, so no worries there. But yeah, just thank you to them for allowing us to use it and do this comparison. It really means a lot to me, and to have them both in the same room is just really epic, at least in my opinion. So thank you to them. Now we'll get into the minifigures. Alright, so I'm just going to start calling these the blue castle and the red castle. So the blue castle is over there on the left. That's the new castle. So when you hear blue, think blue is new, and then think red is dead, meaning red is old. Okay, so there's a little fancy thing I just came up with on the spot, so you can remember that blue is new and red is old. So yeah, now here on the minifigures, of course, green is old and red is new, but that's completely different. So we're gonna get into the knights here. You have the two knights. We're just gonna steal their shields for a minute because they take away a lot of viewing space. They both have the same helmet, although the newer red knight's helmet is in black, and the older green knight's helmet is in dark gray, so that's pretty cool. They also have basically the same chest plate, which is really cool. The main difference here is that the sword of the newer knight is longer than the sword of the older knight, so that's pretty cool on the back. Just that the one on the left is definitely gray and the one on the right is black, so there's just a little bit different color scheme. You can choose which one that you do like better, but yeah, I don't really care actually. I probably do like the one on the left better, but I don't know. It's pretty cool to look at all these and compare them actually. Next up, the two bad dudes that I think are pretty similar. So obviously you have this newer helmet style, so that's bringing that into play here. And then also you have that newer scimitar looking thing, ball on the chain, whereas the old dude just has a spear. But those spears are pretty rare in the newer Lego castle, so I don't know which one I like better. Obviously the one on the left does have leg printing. If you can't see it, sorry about that, but yeah, the one on the left does have leg printing, so that's a point in its favor. Let's take these helmets off and look at their faces. Oh, we stole the face. That's not good. Okay, we stole it again. Alright, we'll just get back to you, and these faces are on. It took months, but the face is still on the head now. Okay, wait, what? Okay, so yeah, nothing fancy with the faces. I do like the face on the right better because it does have a nicer looking thing there, but the other one does have that other face. But yeah, I do like the special faces of the old Lego castle better. And the third and final bad guy minifigure, and this really is not even a comparison at all, because at least in my opinion I know which one is better, but it is up to you guys on what you think. So you do have this newer style dude with that new axe, which is, you know, decent, but it's the only thing it has. Meanwhile, you've got an archer for the old castle, and that is okay. They both have the basic torso prints, and they both have black legs, nothing fancy. You do look at the helmets, one of them is in like steel dark gray, while the other is just in black. But here's where I think it gets interesting, because the faces, obviously this face, oh, it came off again. That is just so sad. But you can see the faces. I'm not going to even take them off. The face of the right one is definitely better. Also, it's an archer and comes with a quiver of arrows. I just think that the newer Lego Castle bad guys have just totally not even cared about the bad guys having archers or even being smart. It's just like they're all coming in with axes and no shields and no archers to back them up, so it's just really stupid. I'm glad the old castle didn't have that, because I would have been pretty disappointed. So here are some more guards. On the left you have the newer blue, and on the right you have the old red ones. So yeah, nothing fancy. I do like the face on the left better, as well as the torso actually. I don't know why Archer is wearing chainmail, a breastplate, but he has it. So I don't know, also I feel like the newer minifigures without their, just their yellow hands, I just feel like showing skin on their hands I feel like they would wear gloves, which is why I like the one on the left better, but I mean, you decide on whatever you want. Either of these have a back face, so you just kind of look at them. We'll turn them around, but you don't really see much on the back. Anyway, they're basically the same, but yeah, I don't know, you choose. So here are the other two archers. So on the right, you have the other crossbowman from the older castle, and in the same style, and on the left you have the newer castle with not a crossbow, so he has a different helmet, which is kind of cool and also kind of sad at the same time. So he does have chainmail on. He's got that really nice bow there, which is a lot better than just another crossbow, so point in that favor, I guess. We take the face off. We see that they are pretty much the same with that smirk there, so see Lego Castle just keeps recycling the same faces, even though it's not the same face, so yeah. You just have those other two archers, and I am going to say that even though the one on the left does not have a quiver, I do like him better. Let's compare the kings. So wow, I mean, this is really a nice comparison right here. So we have a bunch of different stuff going on. So the newer king does not have a chest plate, while the older king does. The newer king does not have a feather on the top of his head, but the newer king does. However, the newer king has a better face, in my opinion. Also, his crown thing is a lot better, in my opinion, and his sword. But he does not have a shield, he's not fighting, and his leg print is not as good as the older one. So I don't know. Let's take a look in depth at these king's weapons. So obviously the king on the right has a breastplate and a shield and a sword. So obviously he's gonna win like the weapons battle here, but what I really wanted to look at was these two swords. How could you, actually I'm gonna switch them so they're on the right sides. How could you get two so different swords in the span of 3 years? This is just crazy. So what's going on here with this stuff? I don't really know. Obviously, this sword is a lot shorter, but it looks a whole heck of a lot better than this one does. No offense, Russell. Sorry, Russell. Yeah, this sword, just because it was plastic, clear plastic, and then they painted gold on it, whereas this one is just solid gold plastic. I mean, there's just such a difference. I mean, this one's bendy. Like, you can bend it if you want. I mean, I'm not gonna like try and break it or anything because it's one of a kind, exclusive. But yeah, you can bend it. This one, I mean, you can really bend it. But they're both plastic and they work. This one is a little harder though. But yeah, this one's just flaking off with that gold paint, and I'm not really a fan of that gold paint. Just comes off really easily. So here we have the White Knight, even though he's blue, question mark? Anyway, we have the White Knight against these two guardsmen from the older castle set, and these two guardsmen have those extremely long, oversized spears, or pikes, or axe, pike, spears, I don't know what you want to call them, but whatever you want to call them, they have them, and these two guys are just really basic guardsmen, but you're not getting a White Knight. So basically the whole trade-off is, do you want this amazing knight, or do you want two extra guardsmen? And I don't really know, because I haven't really had both of them for a long time, only like 30 minutes or whatever, because I made the other video that I hope you've seen. You should make sure to check it out. I'm just talking about the older red castle, but yeah, I can't really decide, because I really love that White Knight, and it's true that you could get the White Knight in another set, but it's true that you could get all these guys in another set, so I don't know. I'm probably going to say they're equal, just because the White Knight is just so amazing. But two guardsmen, I mean, it's hard to beat those two guardsmen. And here are the horses, and they look amazing. So on the right, we have the older style horse, and this horse is pretty cool. It looks really amazing, and we're gonna put the minifigures in it in a second, but for right now, see, he's got those different style horses with all that stuff in the back. Then you have the newer style horse in blue, and it looks fantastic. One thing that the newer style horse can do that the older style horse can't do is go up on its hind legs like that, so that's a point in the new horse's favor. But yeah, let's fit some minifigs into these horses and see how they work and how they look. So if we turn them around, we've got these two dudes, and they look pretty epic in their horses. I'm actually just gonna bring this up a little bit so that we can see. We'll take this dude's shield down so we can see even better. Obviously, we're going to be comparing not only just the horses, but the knights in general. So on the right, we have that old king, and on the left, you have that in the middle of his youth knight who's like probably 30 and super muscly and full of a bunch of vigor and punches and swipes with the sword, whereas you have an old king. So I don't know, it's really up to whatever you want. Obviously you have the two different styles of horses, but it's up to you on which one you think. In my opinion, I do like the one on the left better. I just think that blue looks a lot better, but Russell will probably tell you that the one on the right is better. Is that right, Russell? Yeah, he says I'm right. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, they look pretty similar, and, well, not obviously the tops, but I would say, at least in my opinion, that I do like the one on the left better. I just think he looks better in general. So now we are going to compare the siege weapons. So obviously on the left you have the newer castle siege weapons, and on the right here in all its glory, you have the older style castle siege weapon. So one point where this siege weapon is better than this siege weapon is the fact that it exists. So there we go. I think that this siege weapon is definitely better than the newer castle siege weapon, because the newer castle siege weapon can't fire, it can't move, it can't exist because it doesn't. So thank you all for appreciating my joke. I definitely did. Let's get into the castles now. Alright, so here are both castles in all their glory. We might take them apart, I'm not sure, but let's just study this front gatehouse right here. So obviously we have this nice mechanism here for how the gate works. We've seen it in the other video. It's very different from this one, but in my opinion, I do like this one's thing better. I don't know, maybe it's just me wanting to respect the one that I have, but at least in my opinion, it's also because it's like 3 years older, and just the technique that they used is a lot better. Also, same thing goes for the drawbridge. In this, you can only put the drawbridge in two positions. That one and that one. And it's not even like all the way up. So that's pretty sad. Whereas here, you can move the entire thing up just as far as you want, anytime, any day. Like, you can go as far up as you want. You can bring it down halfway. Like, you can do whatever you want with it. You can put it in any position. And also, you don't have those chains, which, as we can clearly see here, do break. So, you're getting this nice, like, fabric stuff that's gonna just do it really nicely for you, so you won't have to worry about it breaking. No offense, Russell, that I just talked about your ruined chain, but yeah, sorry. Real quick, we'll compare the height of them. They're the same. That tower is taller than that tower, but this one is 3 towers and that one is 2. Okay, size comparison over. So here you have the 2 catapult towers, and they are both very different. So let's check this out. As you can see, oh, maybe you can't see. They're roughly about the same height there, so pretty decent. This catapult can move all the way around, and it is so simple. Like with the thing that fires it, you can just see it. Basically, you just shoot it, it goes off, and if you don't have a phone that you're holding in one hand, then you can like actually shoot it really far like that, especially if you're just like doing it really fast, don't care. This one, on the other hand, they try to make some sort of fancy Technic firing like thing to have like a spring to help spring it back, and while sometimes it does help, this is so annoying if you try and fire it and it gets stuck. Like oh my gosh, there's nothing. This thing doesn't even go back. Whereas this one is like tilted back. This one is just constantly tilted forward, and you can't even tilt it like more than 90 degrees back. Like there is no way to actually get it lower so that it will fire more. So this one just sucks in my opinion. So you get full points to this catapult just for being so simple and amazing, and I don't know how you could go from this to that. So here are the King's Towers, and obviously that one is a lot larger than this one, but at the same time, this one you can put minifigures on the roof, and on this one you cannot, so just a bit of a trade-off there. Also, that one is more square, while that one is more of in an octagon shape, and I do actually prefer the octagon shape. That's just because I'm used to it. Obviously, if you're used to the square shape, like you probably are, Russell, then yeah, you would like that one better. You like that one better, don't you? Yeah, he does. Okay, so if we go into the bottom here, obviously the base of this one is going to be a little more thick than the base of that one. This one is just 8x8 studs. Is it 8? Yeah, it's 8. 8 by 8 studs, like, the entire way until the top, where it goes 10 and then goes to the top, right? But this one has these nice pieces, which you've all seen before, and then there's a few extra stuff over there. This one has a ladder, but it's not like there's anything fancy in here to make up for the fact that it's there. It's just kind of there. I mean, you could put a minifigure there if you wanted, but I mean, it's not really anything. You do have this king's chair, which, I don't know, it's king's chair. You have the king's chair on the other one, which is one thing higher, one story higher, but is basically the same chair, just slightly different. I do like this one because his arms don't have to be really high for him to sit there, but at the same time, doesn't really matter. Then you have that door up there to the treasury, which you can open with the key or just with your hands like I did. You've got that treasure chest in there, and then on this one, you have the treasure chest in here if you do so choose. It's actually on the other one right now, but you could put it in here, and so the treasury is the same. Then here, you just have a little place where you can put your minifigure, and then over here, you do have a door that opens up, and you can move your minifigures through. So, just because of that bottom space where you can move that minifigure through, I'm going to give full points to this newer style one. However, I do love the look of the older style tower. Also, the shield pieces, But yeah, they look really good in my opinion, both of them. And the final thing to compare here is the two jails, and they are very different. There are two very different interpretations of the jail. So, on the right we have the older style jail, and it is in the back of the castle, as you've seen if you've watched my castle review video. Just came out a few days ago, but yeah, you can open the jail. There's just one door there, and you can go in and then basically bust the person out of the jail in the back. So you could have his buddies come save him, or you could just have him escape on his own. Whatever one, there are endless possibilities. But yeah, that's the jail. It's not very big. Meanwhile, you have the tower jail, as I like to call it, for the newer style of Lego castle. And basically, it's those two doors on the tower right there. You can pop off the one with the lock. It is on a chain. You can pull the chain, and it opens the door, and then you can open the other one with your hand. And there's that entire space back there for you to put pretty much as many people as you want. Like, it fits a lot of people back there, whereas this one might fit 2 max. So that is one thing where this jail is better than this. However, there is no breaking out of this jail or anything fancy along those lines, so it's kind of a toss-up. But I do have to say I'm kind of a fan of the older style, just because it is able to bust it open. So that's pretty cool that it's able to do that, and that I'm actually able to have both of them here in my hands. Okay, so this is always the big question. If they were both retail price in the stores right now, which one should you buy? Now, this is going to be heavily biased because I love my blue King's Castle, but they're both $100, so basically you just gotta look at what you're getting here. Obviously, you do get 933 pieces and 998 pieces, so that's 65 more pieces, I believe, if my math is correct, for this castle than this castle. This castle does have an extra minifigure, but this castle does have a siege weapon, so it is up to you. I do feel like the siege weapon makes up for that minifigure in even more than just that minifigure. So then, of course, you do have those cannons, and with that catapults, with that catapult being better than that catapult. But at the same time, I do think that the newer updated ways to open the gate and the drawbridge from that is just a big drawbridge. Wait, what? Okay, so it's a big draw for that, at least in my opinion, because this can be a little weird just with the way that the drawbridge opens up and everything. But thank you guys for watching. My opinion would be to buy that one, but some people would buy that one because of nostalgia, for nostalgia reasons, obviously. So thank you all for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure to hit me in the comments below on what castle you would buy, and I hope you guys did enjoy. This is Kenneth and my brother Garrett, my cousins Russell and Grant from the Lego Republic. We wish you a happy birthday.